You know that feeling when you get stuck with a problem that wasn't even yours to begin with? That heavy, annoying feeling of an unwanted responsibility? Well, there's a perfect idiom in English for that. So today, we're going to break down exactly what it means to be saddled with something. Okay, let's start with a simple word, saddle. When you hear that word, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For pretty much everyone, it's a horse, right? Something you use for riding. And yeah, you'd be exactly right. Literally speaking, a saddle is just that leather seat you put on a horse. But, and this is where language gets really cool, that simple object takes on this whole other, much heavier, figurative meaning. So, how in the world do we get from a piece of horse riding gear to an expression about feeling totally weighed down? Well, it's all about the power of metaphor. We're taking the physical weight a horse has to carry and applying it to an emotional human burden. And this is the core of it right here. To be saddled with something means you are stuck with a responsibility, a problem, or a task that you absolutely did not ask for. It's like this invisible weight, and suddenly you're the one who has to carry it. This contrast is really what makes the idiom so effective. On one side, you've got the simple physical act of putting a saddle on a horse. But on the other, you have the heavy emotional weight of a burden you didn't choose. It's a huge mental leap, and it perfectly captures the feeling. All right, theory is great, but the best way to really understand an idiom is to see it in the wild, right? So let's look at a couple of real-world examples. Okay, so here's our first scenario, and you can see it here in Indonesian. Setelah manajer lama pergi, Rina dibebani dengan semua proyek yang belum selesai. It's a super common situation, right? A manager quits and somebody else has to pick up all the pieces. Now in English, that becomes Rena was saddled with all the unfinished projects. You can just feel it, can't you? She didn't ask for this. The work was just piled on top of her, and now it's her burden to carry. Let's try another one, this time about business and money. In Indonesian, we have perusahaan kecil itu dibebani dengan utang besar akibat keputusan buruk pemilik sebelumnya. So, we're talking about a company in some serious trouble. And in English, the company was saddled with huge debts. This is such a perfect example because the idiom often implies a problem you inherited. The new owners didn't make those bad decisions, but they are the ones stuck dealing with the consequences. So you can see it's about more than just having a task. The phrase saddled with carries a very specific emotional weight. It's not just about what you have to do, but the unfair way you got stuck doing it. Let's break down that feeling. There's this sense that you're being forced into it. There's a ton of pressure. It feels like a burden you just can't escape from. But maybe the most important part of it all, it almost always feels totally, completely unfair. Okay, let's pull all this together. What's the one thing you absolutely need to remember to make this idiom stick in your head? If you walk away with just one idea, let it be this. Saddled with simply means being given an unwanted burden that you are now forced to carry. It's a simple concept, but wow, what a powerful and useful phrase to have in your vocabulary. And hey, to really lock this in, just think about it for a second. Who was the last person you knew, maybe a friend, a family member, a coworker, who was just clearly saddled with some awful job or an unfair responsibility? Thinking about it in real life is the absolute best way to remember. And there we go.
You've now got a fantastic new idiom to add to your English toolkit. Go on and try to use it this week. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.